You know, sometimes just a few simple words can completely flip your world upside down. Today, we're going to dive into this really powerful story about how a single change in how you see things can literally rewrite your entire life.
So let's just jump right in with a big question. Do you really believe that your mindset, your thoughts, create the world you live in? This little story we're about to explore might just convince you that the answer is a huge, resounding yes.
All right, so our story kicks off in a place that's all about routine, a place of just getting by. We're at a super busy city railway station, and this is where we meet our main character.
He was a beggar. His whole life, day in and day out, was tied to the people coming and going from those trains. His entire world was built on this one powerful thought. My only purpose here is to ask for things, to take. This wasn't just what he did for a living, it was who he was.
But then, one day, the whole routine gets completely smashed. A really well-dressed businessman shows up, and in this one single moment, everything is about to change.
So the beggar goes up to him, right? He's just expecting a few coins, the usual. But this businessman, he operates on a totally different level. See, for the beggar, life is all about asking. But for the businessman, it's about a transaction, a give and a take. And it's this complete clash of two different realities that really gets this story going.
The businessman just looks at him and says something that cuts right through all the station noise. He says, "If you cannot give something, you have no right to ask." Now those words, they weren't just a no. They were a challenge, a real deep down challenge that just hit the beggar right where he lived.
Man, those words just kept ringing in the beggar's ears. He couldn't shake them. I mean, what could he possibly have to give anyone? He's a beggar.
So for 2 straight days, he's just wrestling with this. It's an impossible question, right? He felt completely stuck. But then, on the 3rd day, he spots something he must have walked past a million times without really seeing. These beautiful flowers growing right there near the station. And bam, that's when the idea hits him. What if he gave a flower to every person who gave him money?
And he didn't even hesitate. He started doing it right away. And you know what's wild? The way people reacted, they absolutely loved it. All of a sudden, this wasn't begging anymore, was it? It was an exchange. And he started to notice that people were actually giving him more money, way more than he'd ever made before.
So a little time goes by, and who does he run into again? The very same businessman. And this second meeting? Well, it turned out to be even more life-changing than the first one.
The beggar, feeling so proud, offers the businessman a flower for his money. And what the businessman says next, well, it changes absolutely everything. He smiles and he says, "Wow, this is amazing. Today, you have become a businessman just like me."
A businessman? Wow, not a beggar. And those words, man, they just cut right through him. It's like his whole old identity just shattered. And in that one moment, it all became clear. I am not a beggar. I am a businessman.
And just look at how fast this all happened. It's incredible, really. It all started with that simple idea of giving a flower. Then came that second meeting, the moment someone else saw him as a businessman. And then, finally, that deep realization that he truly was one. And get this, just 6 months later, he wasn't even at the station anymore. He had become a huge flower merchant in the city.
Okay, so what is the big lesson here? What's the takeaway for us? The story isn't just about a beggar and some flowers, right? It's about a really fundamental rule of success that every single one of us can use in our own lives.
It really boils down to this super fundamental law of the universe: give and take. The businessman already knew it, and the beggar had to learn it. In our lives, in our work, in our relationships, we really only start receiving things when we're willing to give something of value first.
Now get this, his actual situation, it didn't really change at first, did it? He was still at the station, still getting money from people. The only thing that changed was what was going on in his head. The old way of thinking was, I'm a beggar, people are giving me charity. The new thought, I'm a businessman, people are buying my beautiful flowers. He wasn't taking a handout, he was making a sale.
So when you boil it all down, the heart of this story gives us 3 simple, but wow, really powerful things we can do. First, you've got to change your mindset. See yourself for what you can be, not just for what you are right now. Second, you have to respect yourself. Your value isn't based on your situation. It's based on what you believe you have to offer. And finally, think bigger. The beggar stopped thinking about where his next meal was coming from and started thinking like a business owner.
And that leaves us with one last, really important question that I want you to think about.
The beggar found the key to his success the second he changed the story he was telling himself. So, where's the key to your success hidden? It might just be hiding in the story you're telling yourself right now.